Thor was never a very interesting character to me. I mean, I didn't really hate him, but I didn't really pay attention to him as much as I did to people like Iron Man or Captain America. And I think the reason for this is because Captain America and Iron Man and Hulk were way more defined and well-established characters compared to Thor. I mean, every single one of those characters had motivations and character development, but they all had something that Thor was missing: personality. See, each one of these characters had motivations and character development. Captain America's constant struggle of trying to find a place in the modern world. Tony Stark's motivation is guilt, after causing harm to many people by manufacturing nuclear weapons. Then he decides to save people, to make up for all the debts that he caused. Banner's struggle between him and the Hulk, trying to not let the Hulk burst out in scenarios and get the best of it. Thor also has character development. He starts off as an arrogant person who's basically a jerk to his father and everyone else, and then after going to Earth and learning some things, he actually becomes a better person. Now this isn't bad character growth. It's actually a very common one, and it is pretty good. It is effective. But as I said earlier, he's missing personality. Every single Marvel Avenger that I just listed before, Captain America, Iron Man, and the Hulk, have personalities. Probably the most distinct one is Iron Man's. Everybody knows how Tony Stark is the sarcastic little guy, and everyone loves him because he's really cool. Captain America is really damn cool as well. Not because of the way he acts, but really because of the things he says. He's basically the kick-ass guy of the whole group. Banner doesn't really have that much of a personality compared to the others, but I think a lot of people can really relate to his anger management issues and his constant struggle. But we can't really relate to Thor's struggle. I mean, he's not even struggling. He just starts off as a jerk and then becomes good. The only struggle that he actually gets is when he loses his hammer. But that time we don't really care because before that he was a complete jerk with it. And honestly, it isn't really that easy to relate to someone who always speaks in this sort of way.
With my last in every breath, but I cannot do so from that chair. Loki, for all his grave imbalance, understood rule as I know I never will.
I don't know, I just don't think it really works for the character of Thor. Also, Thor isn't really that cool. I mean, his main fighting style is just using his hammer to hit people. I guess that's fine, but the others have way more cooler fighting styles. Iron Man can fly around with his suit, which updates regularly. Banner turns into a giant green monster that can smash things. I guess Captain America isn't that cool, and that is true for the first two movies. But then he does this. Instantly, he becomes way more cooler. So I think I've already made it pretty clear that I dislike Thor. But actually, now, Thor is one of the greatest characters in the MCU. Immediately when Thor Ragnarok starts, we already get a sense of how Thor has changed. We immediately start with him talking to himself, which is something we've all done before, which makes the character way more relatable than he was before. Then after that, he's hung by a chain and he's getting intimidated by Sir. But he's just playing it really cool and being sarcastic, kind of like Tony Stark, which he probably picked up these things from. He starts spinning around in a chain and then he makes a bunch of jokes and we start laughing. Immediately, we already really like Thor compared to his older self. So Taika Waititi already took Thor and made him a better character within the first 20 minutes. Then as the movie progresses, we get to Sakaar, where he meets up with Hulk. This is where even more funny stuff happens. A lot of comedy happens from this movie, and a lot of it also coming out of Thor. There's a lot of dynamics and back and forth between Thor and Hulk in this movie, and it's really funny. A lot of this movie was actually improv. I think it was 80% or something. So it makes sense that a lot of this is really funny and pretty random as well.
I choose to run toward my problems and not away from them. That's what... Because that's what heroes do.
So by the end of this movie, Thor is basically a fan favorite for many people. And a lot of people probably converted their favorite superhero to Thor. For me, I still enjoy characters like Iron Man and Captain America a little bit more, only because I've spent more time with them. But I think if I got a few more movies with this version of Thor, I'll probably like him just as much. Oh yeah, and also, this is super cool.